Hello guys, here are the names of new subscribers whose names are present in the subscribers list. Hello guys, welcome back to another chess video. This is Amit here, and today I'll be showing you a game played between Balk and Baroness. In this game actually Black responds with the two knights defense for White's bishop c4 move. So, and in this game actually White opens with e4, e5, and Black continues on to sacrifice a pawn on the c6 square. So, and in order for activity and open position on the Black's queen side, so he actually sacrifices a pawn with e4, e5, which we will know as and when we proceed with the game. So hope you watch the video till the end. So let's begin. White plays e4, e5, nf3, nc6, bishop c4, and nf6. Now the idea here is when knight moves to g5, then attacking the f7 pawn, Black sacrifices a pawn, and now pawn takes the pawn, and knight goes to a5, and bishop gives check, and c6 will be played, and pawn again captures back the pawn on the c6, and pawn b7 takes the c6 square, and White casually returns to e2, or queen may come to f3. So all these will be a part of the process in the game. So, and in this game actually White proceeds with ng5 as discussed, and d5 will be played. So pawn takes pawn, then knight attacks the bishop, bishop gives check, c6, sacrificing a pawn, and here comes a deviation from the White's perspective, which is bishop move to a4. So you can see here that it's already a mistake, and Black capitalizes on it, and as we proceed with the game we will get to know what was the mistake, and how Black proceeds on to gain an advantage in this position. So here Black pushes the knight on the g5 square back to f3, and Black is now having an initiative, and he pushes the pawn to e4, attacking the White knight on the f3 square. So once the White knight on the f3 square is attacked, he gets his knight back to g1. So you can see that only the light squared bishop is actually active, and the rest of the pieces are at home, whereas Black has a pawn push on the e4 square, and both the knights are developed, though the knight on the f5 is actually isolated and in the corner, but it also plays an important role in this position. So, and here Black plays bishop d6, trying to castle. Now d3 is played, opening up the diagonal for the dark square bishop, and now castles, takes the pawn. Now if knight takes the pawn, then it is feasible to take the pawn, but he takes the pawn with the knight and attacking the f2 square, and here White requires still two more moves to castle the king to safety. So here knight f3 was much better, but trying to castle, but he instead develops his bishop to e3 square. Once the bishop is developed to e3 square, then here Black prevents the castling by playing bishop to a6. Now this diagonal on the a6 f1 diagonal is covered by the bishop, so if White wants to castle, he has to bring his knight to e2, then castle on the king side, so which is going to be a process, and he plays knight to f3 instead. Now he cannot castle on the king side, but now queen c7 eyeing the h2 square, and Black eyes the h2 square to attack, and he doesn't want white to castle, so he has brought all his pieces into the game, whereas white is here to develop his knight, queen and the king, moving the king to safety. There is 2 move lag by white, so black is 2 moves ahead by sacrificing a pawn. So here knight to d2 is played. So here white is trying to exchange of the piece, and if black now takes the knight on the d2 square, queen takes the knight on the d2, then he may get a chance to castle on the queen side, but black doesn't allow that exchange, and he instead develops his rook. Now if knight takes the e4, then rook takes the e4, and black is attacking the bishop, which has to then move to b3 square. So he would have developed his rook, and another rook may come to d8 square, indirectly attacking the queen on the d1. Now if rook comes to d8, then attacks the queen on the d1. So now white actually plays c3. Now you can pause the video in order to find out the winning move for black. The final mistake in this position was the push to c3. Now since the c3 pawn is pushed, now white has a great advantage and a mating attack. So you can pause the video in order to find out the winning move for black. So knight takes the pawn on the c3, which is the winning move. Now if pawn takes the knight, then rook takes the bishop, and pawn takes the rook, then bishop g6, g3, h3, then queen takes the pawn, and king cannot move here. King cannot move here or here or here, and it's an interesting checkmate because of the bishop, which is guarding the a6 f1 diagonal. So instead of that, white actually doesn't take the knight. Instead he plays queen c2, and again the same move appears. Rook takes the e3 square, so e3 bishop is hanging, and he captures. At this position, Balk actually resigned the game, because now the king has nowhere to go, because the knight is guarding this square and the bishop is guarding this diagonal, so he cannot move the king. Instead he has to take it with the rook, then bishop gives check, and pawn takes the bishop, then queen takes the bishop, and it's a mate. So this was quite a bit of a position, and since then bishop moved to a4, so black could actually attack the white king, and white king could not castle, and he got checkmated. So hope you like this video. If you like this video and are new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you all for watching.